Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. All right, you guys, peep game. All right, so yeah, Terrence Howard recently came out basically speaking on his experience with his short-term experience working with Marvel and working in the Marvel universe. Now, Marvel is set to go into its next phase of a series of films, but an interesting story has resurfaced. Now, Terrence Howard first talked about this last year, but now this story has seemed to resurface, and basically in regards to what happened with him and Robert Downey Jr. Now, him and Robert Downey Jr. are supposed to have buried the hatchet, but for a while, they didn't speak to each other. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Terrence Crawford handled the situation better than I would have, but you know, it is what it is. But apparently, when they were pitching the idea for Iron Man, you know, as they was putting things together, actually the first person that was actually cast was Terrence Howard. And the funny thing was, he basically fought for Robert Downey Jr. to get the role as Iron Man. Now, keep in mind, there was hesitation to cast Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man because of Robert Downey Jr.'s very troubling history, you know, and we all know what that is. But nevertheless, Robert Downey Jr. rebound from it. Good for him. And, you know, I'll speak on how he basically tremendously rebound from him being basically on the downslide, because a lot of us thought Robert Downey Jr. was he wasn't going to make it. So, but nevertheless, Terrence Howard was cast first for Iron Man. And, you know, he told the producers, he told director, I think Jon Favreau, he directed the first Iron Man. I don't know if he directed the rest of them, but basically he pitched the idea for Robert Downey Jr. So, you know, they brought in Robert Downey Jr. He auditioned, he got the role. Now, this is where it gets funny. Terrence Howard was paid $3.5 million for, you know, Iron Man 1. And he was guaranteed additional $5 million for the sequel. So basically, he was going to make a total probably, he was going to make like $10 million. I mean, close to $10 million, you know, maybe like 9 and some change. And then probably get a percentage of whatever it did at the box office. Now, what happened was, after they brought in Robert Downey Jr., now apparently they saying Robert Downey Jr. was only paid 2 and some change for Iron Man. Now, the movie was a success at the box office. And of course, Robert Downey Jr. signed on for multiple appearances as Tony Stark's in not only Iron Man, Avenger movie, and other Marvel projects. Now, what happened was, when they came to, like, you know, get ready for shooting, renegotiate, you know, put together the second Iron Man movie, basically they asked Terrence Howard to take a pay cut. They said that his role was going to be reduced in the second film. So they asked him to take a pay cut. So basically they asked him to take approximately half of what he made. So basically they wanted him to take maybe like $1.5 million for the sequel to Iron Man. He refused. And basically they replaced him with Don Cheadle, because they were saying they was going to give Robert Downey Jr. a pay hike, which I don't understand why they reneged on the deal. But, you know, that's Hollywood for you. But nevertheless, we all know what happened. Don Cheadle to this day is still, you know, still playing the character that Terrence Howard was originally cast in. And Terrence Howard kind of like, you know, was out of luck. Now, reportedly, Robert Downey Jr., based off all his appearances in the Avenger movies the Iron Man movies, other films, the Captain America movies, the Spider-Man movies, other Marvel projects. They're saying that Robert Downey Jr. made approximately $475 million just playing Tony Stark's. You heard me correct. $475 million. That man made almost $500 million. So Terrence Howard did the math. He says he think that Robert Downey Jr. cost him like over $100 million. He also said that he tried to call Robert Downey Jr. basically, to ask Robert Downey Jr., basically to do the same for him as he, once did for him, which is, tell the producers, hey, pay the man, get him his money. He said Robert Downey Jr. would not return any of his phone calls. So that was pretty fucked up. He looked out for him, and then, when it was time to return the favor, basically he, wouldn't answer his phone. But, wow. Now, I would be interested in hearing Robert Downey Jr.'s side of the story, but at the end of the day, hey, he hasn't denied these claims. He basically said well, they resolved it. They, patched things up. But if Robert Downey Jr. did that to Terrence Howard, that was some real low down snake shit. But that's typical. There you have it. But anyway, let me know what you think. This your boy Town Biz. I'm out.